Welcome to Journeys. This is a space for raw, honest conversations about the stories that shape us. And today I'm joined by Leah, and we are going to be exploring Leah's journey to motherhood with type 1 diabetes. So, if you don't mind, Leah, we'll take you right back to the beginning and back to when you first found out that you were pregnant. What were your initial thoughts or feelings around that time?
Okay, so my first pregnancy, I found out when I was in Bali. I had closed the business, was going to go traveling, no plans to have any kids. So I took a little test when we had like a little outdoor toilet, an outdoor shower, because me and my friend were being really adventurous. So I got a little. My friend thought I was maybe late, and I was like, no, it's just my period, because my periods would have been really light anyway. But turns out it was implantation bleeding. So then I took my little test. I was looking at pregnancy reveal videos, and I'd been diabetic for maybe 10 plus years at this point. And I took a test when my friend was asleep in the toilet, and then obviously, and then it came up a little plus, and then did it come up? No, I'll tell a lie. It actually didn't come up as a plus. It came up with the 2 lines, but it had like Balinese writing on each side. So I was like, I don't know, what is this? So I looked at the thing and I said I was pregnant, and I literally sat there. I was like, oh my God. So this is day 1 of landing in Bali, and we were meant to be there for a month. So I ran in, told my friend, and then we went and got more tests. And I remember for like my entire life, I've always been told, if you have diabetes, you have to prep like 6 months beforehand, have the best, it's called an HbA1c, which is like your average bloods over a certain amount of months. So they have to be a certain level, because you're told your entire life that there's going to be, like, if you don't control your bloods, your baby will come out with disabilities, your baby will come out with loads of complications. And yes, there is a certain level of that. Like, if your bloods are seriously uncontrolled, it can affect it. But like, my entire life was always told, this can happen, so don't get pregnant. And I know people are like, oh my God, how did you like not know you were pregnant? Because I was like, I remember writing in my journal, being like, I'm really sick today. I think I drank too much water. I was like, now this is me, naive 22-year-old. I was like, oh my God, what? So I do remember, yeah, I understand why people be like, how do you not know? But like, I was just so naive. Like, my boobs hurt. I was nauseous. I was like really tired. And I was just thinking, oh, because like that could also be like my period was coming, or, you know, like it can be all the same symptoms. And like, if I have like a high blood sugar, I would feel sick, you know? So like, there's like a lot of that aspect too. So, it was a big shock. I remember trying to call my doctor. I think I had to get through on WhatsApp, because you couldn't make international calls on the SIM card that I had. The range you have to be for your bloods when you're pregnant is so thin, compared to like a normal day. It's like, my bloods had to be 3.5. Now the normal range is like 4 to 7. But if I go below 4, personally, I feel really shaky, really sweaty. I'll mumble my words. It'll feel as though I'm like drunk. So going below that, you're for me anyway, everyone's so different. You're in a state of panic. So you're wanting to eat, you're wanting to eat. But yeah, you can't, like, when you're pregnant, that's classed as like a normal range then. So it's just really strange to have to do like a complete change. And the worst thing is I have a sensor that reads my blood on my pump, so I can see what my bloods are all the time. I had packed the wrong sensor thing or something. I didn't pack enough, and so I only had my finger pricks, which for years I was on a sensor, and then I had to switch to finger pricks, which was like scary then, because again, you're told your whole life that if something's going wrong with your bloods, if you're anyway high, your baby's going to be this, your baby's going to be this. And like, it's really, really scary. So it was a lot of emotions, a lot of tears. But now we have 2 kids, and both of them are absolutely fine, healthy. They were big babies, but that can come hand in hand with diabetes too. But I love them. I think they're great. Thank you.
And what was it like navigating that first pregnancy then, along with your type 1 diabetes?
really hard. You're constantly monitored, which I understand as well because they want to make sure that you're okay. But to the point where you're constantly having to prove yourself, like that you can do it when you've had diabetes for so long and you know your body as well. And like my HbA1c was excellent. I got it down really low for my first born. And so for Faye, when I was getting my HbA1c down, say my HbA1c was like 7.2. I got it down to maybe, I think it was 5.8. And so then you're told if you bring it down too quickly, then there's damage to your eyes and there's damage to this like in your body. And you're like, okay, you can't win then because you're trying to bring it down. But yeah, if you bring it down too quickly to get a better average, then that's dangerous too. Yeah, there's a lot of a lot of navigating and a lot of stress. There's a lot. It's a very hard time. And I was only saying to my therapist yesterday, I was like, if I didn't have diabetes, I swear to God, pregnancy would be such a breeze. And I know that's obviously, pregnancy is very hard. I had hyperemesis on Faye, and that was really difficult too, because with the diabetes, once I took my insulin to eat my food, I'd eat my food, and then I'd vomit up my food, and then my insulin would kick in, so my bloods would go low, and I'd be on the verge of fainting, and I'm there trying to take glucose shots to bring it back up, because that would be the only thing I'd kind of be able to stomach at the time. And then sure, you're spiking up really high. So my graph was like a mountain range rather than a smooth sailing little wave, you know? That was a lot. Still navigating it.
Yeah. And during your pregnancy, obviously the pregnancy in itself was hard to navigate. And what about then the medical team, the medical professionals? How did you find navigating that end?
It was like an appointment every 2 weeks. You'd have to go to the hospital, which is very hard if you have a kid and you have to be in at like 8:30 a.m. And they only have it on Wednesdays, so you have to like get a minder. And like, to be fair to them, they were just doing their job. They were just doing what they knew, what they had learned for their profession, and obviously going by a book. But you're then trying to explain to them that you do understand it all and that you do understand your body, but you have to keep proving yourself all the time that you know what you're doing, or that it's really hard to explain. It's just a lot of like arguing. And I actually ended up giving my diabetic team like flowers and chocolates at the end, being like, thank you for all the help. I know I was really like fighting against you, and they were like, no, we understand it too. So like there was an understanding at the end, and throughout it there was an understanding, but to an extent where I was feeling super stressed and anxious going in, because I always felt like I had to prove my bloods would be fine, or I had to prove that I could do this. I had to prove it all the time. So it was exhausting. Like, that's why I was so hesitant to get pregnant again, was because I even said it to you, Lorraine, I was like, I have to go through all the team again and have to go through all the like stress and all the this and that. So that was one big factor. But then I had to just remember that the time's going to pass either way, so I could get through it. I could do it. But yeah, it's very stressful.
Life, you're told these different things. If you don't start trying and planning 6 months in advance, you're going to harm your baby. And if your bloods are, if you manage them too quickly, you might damage your eyesight. So with all of the things you'd been told your whole life, then do you feel like you had additional fears or challenges when you became pregnant?
Oh, 100%. Oh my God. Like constantly you're constantly thinking that you're killing your baby, basically. You're damaging the baby all the time. Because anytime I saw the graph go up, I'd be like, oh my God, I'm damaging her. Oh my God, I'm damaging him. Like there's so much emotion for the whole time, because diabetes is a 24/7 thing. Like you always are like thinking what your bloods are, and so tough. And even breastfeeding afterwards with Faye, because I'm doing combination feeding. Yes. After it was like my bloods kept going low because you're expending so much more energy. So half the time I wouldn't need to take insulin. I just do a feed, then my bloods would go low because there's so much energy being used. and then you're like eating more. So yeah, it's a lot. And like right now I'm like still dealing with like weird vertigo and everything. And so if my bloods are fine, well, if my bloods are going low, I'm like trying to get food while there's probably a screaming baby and you're trying to calm her down, but then your nervous system's going crazy because you're going low, and then you're also like trying to deal with that too. No, because stress, adrenaline, anxiety, it all can affect your bloods. Like even a normal person, it can affect your bloods. But obviously you guys have pancreases that can regulate, whereas mine doesn't produce any insulin. So your body is able to regulate itself with the pancreas, and then mine is just not able to do that. So I'm having to manually do that. So the stress can really impact on a day-to-day too. It's hard, I'm not gonna lie, it's so hard. And you're trying, like, I think when I find someone else who's diabetic, I'm like really excited because I'm like, oh my God, there's someone I can relate to. And if, like, say someone who isn't diabetic and kind of goes through same things that I go, like they're able to, you know, bounce back and go back to the gym really, really quickly, or they're able to bounce back and do things that I would dream of being able to do. Because I definitely, like, there is a big, like, your bloods play such a big role. Like there's so many books on research that even on a normal person, if your blood spike, there's an increased chance of dementia, increased chance of this and that. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but there's an increased chance. So it's like, I've had it for 14 years. So I've had it really young, that there's like I'm going to have it a long time. if I live to a certain age, I'll have it for such a long time. And that's a long time to try to control your bloods 24/7. So it's intense. It's intense.
Did you find it hard to meet other diabetics who were pregnant or who had given birth before?
Yes. I think I had only known... my granny had given birth, but that was like way back when, so there wasn't as much, say, research now. I knew my friend Eva, she had her little one, she had a cesarean. I think she was the only one that I knew at the time. It's because obviously you can have gestational diabetes as well, and that's like it's similar. Some people do have to go on the insulin when they have gestational diabetes, and then it kind of stops. For some people it stops afterwards. But for type 1, I don't think I met many people, unless it was like a Facebook forum, or like there was like maybe 2 or 3 people on Instagram that I would have conversed with slightly. But they were the only people that I knew. So it was very hard to, like, say if I was putting a story on my Instagram, it would be hard to find people to relate to what I was going through, which was lonely. It was definitely lonely because you try to just get on with the day to day. Now look, I'm lucky. I have a pump. I have, you know, my sensor to help make things easier, but it's still very hard because you're battling them with your pregnancy hormones, and sure, the pregnancy just goes up and down and all around. So definitely found it hard.
Isolating, I imagine.
And isolating, yeah. But then I'm also trying to count my blessings, and you know, and I know you always give out to me being like, "And still, Leah, still doesn't matter."
Two things can be true at once.
Yeah.
And did you find it hard then to find people who had similar birth plans as you?
I think I was lucky with going to your classes because I was able to find people that I felt I could relate to then. Because we did the antenatal classes, and still to this day I still chat to all the girls that were in that, which is so funny. And I think once I started like following you, had you as my doula, I was introduced to other people that had the same beliefs and realization. Now your classes did help as well. Not a promotion, guys, just this honestly. Your classes did help as well by making myself and my partner Rob realize things that we may not have realized before about the system and about what what the system can try to coerce you into doing if you're not comfortable. And I did have to fight that for my second pregnancy. For Faye, they weren't allowing me to have like my pump in the theatre because they'd be hooking you up to a drip, which is in theory the same thing, because the hospital isn't used to having many diabetics on pumps. They would prefer to control it, which is fine if someone isn't on a pump and they're just, maybe they have gestational diabetes, or or something's happening and they're on insulin pens. Whereas if I'm on a pump and I can read my readings all the time, it's so much handier that way. I found your group helped, and then I went to other groups that I could find other mums with similar plans, because I had my birth plan. Now the first pregnancy, I think I was very like, this is what I want. And then with Faye, I had a similar idea, but I was more flexible. I was like, okay, whatever's going to happen is going to happen. Both I had cesareans, but with Faye, there was a lot more movement towards the end. I did go into labor with Jackson, didn't know I was in labor, just naivety. My waters did break with Jackson. My waters didn't break with Faye, but I went in, I was later gestation period. So I had all of my information there and I made my informed decision. And I think that was really important, because I had all the information there for me to just decide, okay, I will have my section today with Faye. Whereas with Jackson, that was kind of classed as like an emergency as one, because I was in labor and I was dilated and stuff, but I didn't feel, I felt okay. So that was classed as an emergency, and then the other one was an elective. But I was much more prepared on Faye, because I said to Rob, I said, do skin to skin straight away, whereas I completely forgot everything in my first time. I was like, I don't even remember. I don't even remember what I had even said. I don't even remember the day. So Faye was more prepared. Still didn't stop the tears, but there was more preparation, which was nice, because then she got her skin to skin with Rob, which was good. Yes.
And if you were to compare both experiences, how would that look?
Both had interesting outcomes, interesting experiences. Like, all of the first pregnancy gave me all the information I needed to what I wanted in the next one, if I ever did get pregnant. Because I was like, I'm never doing this again. But this time I'm enjoying postpartum so much more, because I'm realizing how quick it goes. I'm combination feeding on Faye. I did bottle feeding on Jackson. I tried to breastfeed with him. I just didn't have enough information for myself, and I didn't, like, he wasn't latching, but I also didn't know the proper way. Like, I didn't know how to express colostrum properly myself. Whereas with Faye, I had one of the lactation consultants help me, and I expressed loads of colostrum. So there was a lot I learned in the first pregnancy, and I think it's like nice and important. Like, I think this time, even though it was an elective section, I still don't like sections. Like, both sections are just not nice. Like, they're not. I would have loved to have had a vaginal birth, and everyone's like, "Oh, you're crazy! Your babies are so big. Thank God you didn't have vaginal birth." So I'm like, "Oh yeah, whatever. Like, your body knows what to do, so it's fine." So now I just nod and I'm like, "Oh yeah." And but like, both sections, they taught me a lot in both of them. It's just a bizarre time, bizarre concept. That first walk after the two of them still doesn't get any easier. Like, there was a lady across from me in the hospital, and she had a section. A couple of hours later, she was like, "Can I get a shower?" And like, she got up and like got a shower. It's a couple of hours, like, and I was like, "What?" I sat there looking. I was like, "Are you joking? How is she doing this?" So it's all relative to the person. Yeah, lots of lessons from both of them. I think I'm enjoying this one, this postpartum a lot more. First pregnancy was a big shock. This one was more planned. There's a lot more tears in the first one, because I had so many plans to move abroad and do all this and that. Whereas this one, I was already home. I was like, okay, let's build our family first, then I can go travel. So, and Jackson has taught me so much about life and about patience. I'm still learning that. And about love, yeah, and just the love you feel. And I know everyone's like, it's like, it's always that cliche. It's like, it's when it's your own, like, you'll understand. but it is true. And you do. And I used to be that person being like, oh my God, they were so talking about their kid. I know. And now I'm like, can I talk about my kid today? You know, it's like, it's all valid.
Anything surprise you about yourself across both experiences?
I still can't believe that I'm a mum. Like, I feel like I'm a teenager still, and I'm like, I'm a kid raising a kid. You know, that's like, you still have those thoughts of like, whoa. But I think what surprised me is that I do have quite a bit of patience now, whereas I didn't think I'd have patience from before. Surprising myself in how I can multitask, like, a lot better. You kind of don't really think you can do that. Or like, if you're like so tired, I gotta have Rob there as well. But like, if you're so tired, you can manage to do things even if you're so tired. So that surprised me, is the resilience you can have. No, that's not saying that there's, you know, there's days when I'm like, oh, but like, it's fair. Yeah, we're all like that, so that's okay. Yeah, I think that's the most surprising thing. And just how all the cliches are so true. So, yeah, that's the surprising thing. Like, you don't believe it until it happens. You're like, oh, yeah, I get it now. That's funny. I used to hate my mum when she said this. She'd be like, just you wait. Now I'm like, yeah. So now if I'm talking to someone who's like thinking about having a kid, or they're pregnant with their first, I don't even say anything. I'm like, no, it's gonna be, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Just you do you. Like, I try not to give advice, because why would I bother giving advice when they didn't even ask for it? I don't think. Yeah, I think I just kind of say, hi, I'm here if you need.
And were there any moments where you felt stronger than you expected?
I think managing 2 kids is a lot. And being able to manage diabetes, well, not like, it is hard, but being able to get through with the diabetes on like days that I'm having like a really low blood sugar day or a bad blood sugar day, I'm just still able to like get up and go and collect the kids. Oh, dropping Jackson with the newborn, it's hard. Like, your first like trip to creche, that's so hard. But yeah, through it. Just being able to try and manage everything. Try to get through the days, one day at a time. So important, and I have to keep remembering that in my own head, one day at a time.
Is there anything that you remember most about your births?
You don't forget the pain. You don't forget the like soreness of after the birth, like the scarring and like going to the toilet. Oh my God, sneezing. You don't forget sneezing after having a section. Oh my God. Like just like the curling over if you have to cough and trying to hold your stomach. And yeah, you don't forget that. I don't think you forget that. But you don't forget the first night, I don't think. Or like the first like few cuddles. 'Cause they're great. You don't forget the nurses or like the midwives that were like nice to you and that help you. Because I think if you vaginally give birth, you do forget the pain, because that's what Mother Nature intends. But for a section, I don't think you forget that. Yeah, I remember getting acupuncture. Shout out to Michelle from Echo. And just even having her go near it was like, you know.
And then you see like the posts online about, you know, scar mobilization and
oh God,
scar
when people touch it, I'm like, oh my God. So yeah, but that's just my experience. Obviously, everyone is so different.
But it's similar for a lot of people, and I think when people go online and talk about mobilization and they draw this scar on their tummy, on their perfectly flat tummy without their little C-section
pouch,
and they don't consider the trauma. And they don't consider the feelings that come along with having had a cesarean. You know, and how it's not easy for everyone to touch it or to look at it. And some days it is. Some days you're like, oh my God, I went through this. And,
yeah.
And then some days it's like, I went through that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
definitely. And were there any moments from your pregnancies? So across your pregnancies, birth, postpartum, even though you're still early days now, but were there any moments that really stayed with you?
Pregnancies, I tried to keep up the gym, but it humbled me then in with phase, because I couldn't go to the gym as much because I had hyperemesis and everything just made me feel like getting sick, and just everything was like so hard. So those pregnancies were so different. They were so different. But I think phase was harder. Jackson's, my bloods were excellent. Phase, my bloods were okay. And so I was a lot more worried with phase. It was only because of the hyperemesis, because I kept getting sick. And then you're obviously diabetic, and food is what you need. Like sugar is what you need if you're going low, whereas that was making me so sick. It was a vicious cycle. And I remember just feeling so depleted. Hyperemesis is no joke though as well. Like I had to go on the medicine, the Caravan medicine. It's no joke. And what kind of annoyed me, well not annoyed me, but I felt like I could only, like the people that had hyperemesis, you could only really relate to them because like it was so hard. And now I understand from having it how difficult it was when I was talking to people in my first pregnancy. And I was like, no, I was never sick. And I'm like, so I think you get humbled no matter what. Like there's always something that's going to humble you. But there was a moment there, I think it was last week or something. And I was just sitting there and I was like, it was like I finally realized that I did it. She was here. She was safe. She was healthy. Because again, you're constantly told this and that about having diabetes and having babies and that. And one girl did message me and she was like, oh, I'm so scared to have a baby. And like, you're like, it's great to see that you've had 2 healthy pregnancies. And I was like, yes, well, if you ever do get pregnant, like if you ever need to chat, let me know. Because it can be so hard to find those other, like, you know what, it's hard. It's hard to find diabetic mums that haven't had a section because they will just push you for a section. Once you're 38 weeks or 37 and a bit weeks, section, no matter what. Whereas you can have vaginal births. Like you can do it. And I know people that have done it, but all you're kind of seeing is control over your bloods at a certain level, at a certain week. And then that's it. You have to get a section. You don't have to get a section. Like there was one girl who I know, her baby was 7 pounds something. And she was told that her baby was huge. Whereas scans can only show you so much. Like they're not 100% accurate in sizing. So she had a section and she was told that she was having a massive baby. The baby was 7 pounds. 7 pounds something. Constantly just being told, you're having a section, you're having a section. And so like, there's a lot of people having sections now, even if you're not diabetic. And I think that they're not giving women a chance to have a vaginal birth. If there's something really, really, really wrong and medically necessary, okay, absolutely, go have one. But don't just push for sections all the time. And that's what they'll do if you're diabetic and having a baby. Section straight away. But no, you do not need to have one.
And then I suppose because you had diabetes for so long, your life was kind of medicalized in a way.
Definitely, yeah.
Right. So did you find it harder to lean into that trust in your body to?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good question. Yeah, because there's not really any trust that you have because you feel like your body's already letting you down by having diabetes. But you have to really try and remember that like the way I could think about it is like, I know my diabetes. Maybe my body is like, she's a little bit dramatic, but I know my diabetes. So like, you have to trust that. Yeah. But that's a good question because that does make sense. You're told to trust them more than anything. And there's a certain level of obviously that they know, but after a while, once you get used to how your bloods react with certain things, like I know doing this talk, my adrenaline will spike up. So I took a little bit of insulin beforehand, but that's why I have my drink. So just in case I might feel a little bit like I'm going low, but I'll just have it there just in case. Like I'm 7.3 now and I have a bit of insulin still working in my system. So I might drop a little bit, but because I have a bit of adrenaline going in me from doing the talk, I know that I might stay a little bit higher then. And it's the same with working out. Working out, I might, like if I'm doing weight training, my bloods will stay a bit higher. So I should really take a little bit of insulin to just balance it out. Or if I'm doing weight training and I'm doing cardio afterwards, I won't, because the cardio is going to balance it out. So yeah, you have to, it's about learning to trust your body again afterwards as well. Because it's been a long time. I can't remember life. I can't really remember life before injections and...
You've been medicalized for so long with your diabetes, and controlled medically for so long, and now you're pregnant, you're being told all these different things, and then told that you have to have a cesarean.
Oh yes.
So I can imagine that it's quite hard to go against the grain there.
Yes, especially for your first, because you don't know what you don't know. So for your first, you are going to be like you are going to be listening a little bit more, because I've never had a cesarean before. I've never been pregnant before. I've never, so there is a lot, there's a lot they will tell you. That's where you have to try trust yourself. It is very difficult to trust yourself when you've never done any of that before. Like, how are you meant to know what to do then? So that's the hard one. That's why I think second pregnancy was better, because I knew then what I wanted and what I didn't want. So for first, but if someone is pregnant for the first time and that's what they're met with as being diabetic, I understand if they do get scared and they do get nervous. So I think I tried to follow as much pregnancy related pages on Instagram of people that had diabetes as well. But it is difficult to find the same people that had the same values as you, or not same values, but same beliefs in the system. Like a lot of people that are diabetic and they have babies, again, they all have, like most of them have sections. I'd say like 90% of them have sections, because that's what they are met with then online too. Because I remember trying to look for ages to find like the right page. It took me ages to find on Google of a lady who had a home birth as a type 1. I mean, you're going to be like looking in Narnia if you're trying to find something like that. I found one like blog, and that was the only thing I could find, which is very sad, because it is possible and you are able to do it, but they don't have enough. There's not enough out there to show that that's possible. So yeah, sad really.
I guess the support from the medical system isn't there then either.
No, because I can understand that they're just trying to cover themselves as well, but it's at the cost then of the woman too. Like, that woman's going to have to go through a cesarean more than likely, because of what the medical system, I suppose, pushes onto them. So that's a hard one, because it's a hard battle to go through. Yeah, but again, I've only ever found like one diabetic that had a home birth, which was sad.
And is there anything that stands out to you that kind of helped you to get through your pregnancies?
Talking. A lot of talking. Having a doula definitely did help, because that person's there for you and to help support you, and like the information. Like, I found that you were very unbiased in your information. You were giving me the information. You were giving me all the information. Then it was up to me on what decision I wanted to make, which like it helped a lot, because then there wasn't a thing of like, if I did decide to do something, I'd feel bad. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Whereas you were just like, no, it's your choice. Like, you gave me my voice to decide what I wanted.
What has your journey taught you about yourself?
That women are great. I love women. Women are the most beautiful thing. About myself, I am proud of myself for doing it. I'm proud of myself for doing it. I'm proud of myself for doing it again, because I didn't think I'd do it again. I literally, after Jackson, I gave away all the baby stuff. I was like, I'm never doing this again. So I'm proud that I was able to survive, really, is the main thing. And just to be able to keep kids alive. Like, you're keeping kids alive.
And who are you now that you weren't before?
I am someone I'm proud of. I am someone that can prove that you can do it with diabetes, because that was one thing my entire life that I didn't know if I could do it. I am someone that's able to multitask much better. And because I have my business as well, I'm proud that I'm able to still do that. I'm excited to go back to work. Yeah, I think I'm just someone I'm proud of, that I was able to prove that I could do it all, which was amazing. I'm proud that I could breastfeed. That was something I didn't think I could ever do, because I had a cesarean and I was diabetic. They were like, so I was proud I could do that. That was fun. Really hard journey. Like, for the first, oh my god, 2 weeks, I was like, this is hard and sore and gorging, but no, proud that I was able to pull through.
And is there anything that you would say to someone else who's now navigating diabetes and pregnancy?
You can absolutely do it. Like, just trust that you know your body and that you know yourself. You can absolutely do it. Like, you can have a baby. People have been doing it for ages. And do control your bloods, because, like, again, you do have to have a bit of cop on, in that sense of, like, not having your bloods run sky high or, like, fainting all the time. But your body's able to do it. Your body's able to have a baby. You're able to grow a baby. Just keep going to your checks, though, like for your eyes and stuff, because the eye checks would be important anyway. And you're like, it's totally possible, but making sure that you're reaching out if you're feeling down, feeling sad, or feeling like it's a lot. Try find someone who is a diabetic mom and reach out to me if you want, because it is very lonely if you're a diabetic mom and going through it for the first time, because you don't know who you're able to talk to most, unless you've made friends that are diabetics as well. But just remembering that you are able to do it. It is completely possible. Just trusting yourself is so important. And I know it's easier said than done, but you know your body way more, and you know your diabetes way more than the hospital team.
And I think that's really important to remember.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Definitely.
Yeah. Well, I think you're amazing.
Oh my god, thank you.
And I think that your kiddies are so lucky to have you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, and we'll leave it there. So thank you so much, Leah.
Oh my god, thank you so much. And thanks for being my doula for both times.
Oh,
and dealing with my stress and my rants after each hospital appointment.